The Estill County Judge Executive says he still has a lot of questions after radioactive material was dumped at a local landfill.
Few recipients of the Medal of Honor live to tell the story that earned them the award, but one Navy SEAL is an exception. I'm Weijia Zhang at the White House with his story coming up.
Downtown Lexington's newest gym is offering an experience like never before. A sneak peek in Proof Fitness coming up.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon on this Monday. Sam Dick and Amber Philpott reporting. Test results from the Estill County landfill are starting to come in after radioactive material was found.
This afternoon, our Sean Moody talked to the judge executive who says he is still pushing for more answers. It's our top story at 4:30.
Contractors were out here at the landfill for about 9.5 hours yesterday, testing the air and water to make sure nothing was wrong. The county judge executive said the preliminary results were normal, but he expects the final results today. Judge Executive Wallace Taylor said a third-party contractor from Laurel County was doing the testing. They tested air and water at the landfill, nearby schools, and houses that back up to the property. Judge Taylor said the early results are all normal. One of the things that's helped with the response, the judge says, is that Estill County is part of the Kentucky CSEP program. They have a crisis plan in place just in case anything ever goes wrong just down the road at the Bluegrass Army Depot. Judge Taylor said doing drills for that kind of thing helped them prepare for this.
They're also very beneficial, and it helps our team, our volunteers, to be better prepared in a case like this.
Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, Judge Taylor is hosting an open forum at the Estill County High School just across the street from the landfill. He says he wants to make sure everything is as transparent as possible to the public. In Estill County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
People who live nearby said they plan to be at that forum. They said they want to hear more about the test results. Police are hoping surveillance video will help them catch 3 gunmen behind an overnight robbery at a Central Kentucky gas station. It happened around 4 this morning at the BP on US 27 and Catnip Hill in Jessamine County. The 3 suspects, all with masks over their face, reportedly ran into the store with guns drawn and stole money. See the video and hear why police believe the robbers may have hit other businesses on WKYT News at 6.
Lexington police are still searching for 2 men who they say robbed a gas station over the weekend. Police say the men walked into the Circle K on Richmond Road about 4 Sunday morning. One of them had a gun and demanded cash. Police say the robbers did get away with some money. Police called in a K-9 crew to help with the search, but they apparently did not find anything. Some people might describe it as a tale of 2 cities, as Lexington drivers continue to go around a giant hole in the middle of downtown Louisville. Louisville just broke ground on a skyline-changing development. Even in the rain and mud last week, crews in Louisville have started work on the $300 million Omni Hotel and residences at 2nd and Liberty Streets. They expect to have the 3rd tallest building in that city up and finished within 2 years. The key, a partnership between the city of Louisville and the Omni Corporation.
It takes a lot of due diligence. I think you have to have a great partner who's at the table with you, and the Omni Corporation is unbelievable. I mean, they've come in and invested in our city in a big way. You have to have relationships with each other and trust with each other.
The Omni will be the tallest hotel in Louisville. It will include a 600-plus room hotel, luxury apartments, a restaurant, and more, similar to original plans for Centerpoint almost 8 years ago.
This is a story that really makes you go, huh?
Yep.
You spent about a month looking into what's going on in Louisville, then what's happened here in Lexington. Do you see any similarities, differences when you compare the 2?
Amber, there are definitely some very strong similarities between Omni and Centerpoint. There are also some strong differences, especially when it comes to the financing. I think the real key in this story is that there appears to be a very close relationship between the city of Louisville, the government, and the developer, the Omni Corporation. The Louisville folks tell me they spent about 2 years building that relationship. And they're almost splitting the cost of this huge project 50-50. So there's a lot at stake. So when they'd have problems, the Louisville officials say, we'd find a way around them because we both had a lot at stake. So much more to come about why Centerpoint is staying put and why Omni is moving forward, coming up at 6 o'clock.
We'll see you then. Sam, thanks.
A beautiful day here in the Bluegrass with sunny skies and mild temperatures out there.
But we are tracking another storm system for tomorrow afternoon. We want to check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Yep, in like a lion. That is the month of March around here coming up tomorrow, guys. With that big storm you were mentioning, let's focus on some positives, some good news out there. Not a whole lot going on now except beautiful weather for this leap day. Mid and upper 50s across all of central and eastern Kentucky. A lot of sunshine out there, too. If you're out this evening, it's a quick drop through the 40s into the upper 30s by 11 as we hang on to mainly clear skies. Defender radar network, speaking of clear, nothing across Kentucky. Let's bounce it out a little bit. Here is our storm system now beginning to gather steam across the Plain States. Cold air meeting mild air. You know what that means. Another wild weather ride as we go into the day tomorrow. Storms to snowflakes as a very busy pattern take shape across the Bluegrass State. I'll come back here in a little under 10 minutes and we'll break down that busy pattern and show you how the first week of March shakes out in just a few.
We will see you then, Chris. Thank you. A new fitness center is opening tomorrow in downtown Lexington. Proof Fitness.
This is Proof Fitness's second location here in Lexington. The owner spent about $2 million revamping that space. Our Mike Byer has your first look at the space in a story that's new at 4:30.
There's tons of different things you can do.
Downtown Lexington's newest fitness club is sure to leave health gurus in awe.
It's actually going to be the blueprint for all of our locations from here on out.
Sitting on the top floor of 230 West Main Street, Proof Fitness is getting set for its grand opening tomorrow at 5 a.m. This $2 million facility is the gym's second Lexington location to go along with the one at Tate's Creek Center. This new location recently housed LA Fitness, which moved out last May.
We have taken it and literally completely gutted the entire inside.
The fitness club is 29,000 square feet, and if that's not enough for you, it has breathtaking views of downtown.
The facility features over 200 pieces of workout equipment, many of them set up in spots that is sure to provide all the motivation needed. If that's not enough,
we have 6 separate studio rooms here, all housing workouts from spinning, rowing, TRX, TKO. We even have a hot yoga room now.
There's also a running track which wraps up around this giant machine called the Queen-X.
You can do all sorts of training all in one piece of equipment.
After working out, exercisers can make their way over to the Caldo Cafe, which will offer up a variety of health foods and smoothies. It's just one of many options this fitness club will offer to its members. In Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
And the gym will also feature a racquetball court and spa. To see membership rates, visit our website at WKYT.com. The Medal of Honor is the nation's highest military honor.
On Monday, President Obama awarded it to a Navy SEAL who risked his life to rescue an American hostage in Afghanistan. Weijia Jiang reports from the White House.
Edward Byers Jr. goes to the greatest lengths to stay hidden as a member of the Navy's elite SEAL Team 6. But on Monday, the 36-year-old was at the center of the president's attention.
He's the consummate, quiet professional.
President Obama awarded Byers, a senior special ops chief, the Medal of Honor. In 2012, he was part of a raid that saved an American hostage in Afghanistan. Dr. Dilip Joseph was abducted by the Taliban. Joseph says he realized a rescue was underway when he heard someone calling his name.
As soon as I heard my name and I answered back and they heard where my voice was coming from, one SEAL just came and laid on top of me.
That man was Byers.
With his bare hands, Ed pinned the fighter to the wall and held him until his teammates took action.
The Medal of Honor is the nation's highest military decoration. Byers is the first living active duty member of the Navy to receive the award in 4 decades.
I'm going to continue doing my job in the Navy, continue being a SEAL, and doing the thing I love.
Byers also spoke about the ultimate sacrifice some SEALs have made. His teammate was killed during the mission.
He was a teammate, he was a friend. He's a true American hero.
Byers says he was just doing his job. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
In the entire history of the Navy SEALs, Byers is only the 6th member to receive the Medal of Honor. He also has 5 Bronze Stars and 2 Purple Hearts.
The best in movies honored at the 88th Annual Academy Awards will have reaction and take you to the after parties. That's ahead on WKYT.
I'm Alex Trebek. If you're age 50 to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. This is a lock for your life insurance, a rate lock that guarantees your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. But be careful. Many policies you see do not have one. But you can get a lifetime rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. Call this number to learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on a fixed income who want affordable life insurance that's simple to get. Coverage options for just $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. Act now, and your rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase. Guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health questions. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free gift with great information. Both are free, with no obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call 1-800-440-4200 for your free information and a free gift. There's no obligation. That's 1-800-440-4200. Or visit us online at colonialpenn.com. That number again is 1-800-440-4200. 1-800-440-4200. Call now.
Change is taking root in Frankfort. We need a voice that'll be heard. Daniel Elliott is the conservative for Boyle and Casey counties. Dedicated to protect our God-given freedoms from Obama liberals, Daniel will ensure government is held accountable and our Kentucky values are protected. Daniel Elliott will fight government overreach that's crippled our economy. We need a strong voice. On Tuesday, March 8th, vote Daniel Elliott for state representative.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Blue skies across the area this afternoon. This leap day, you know what? Maybe we should have more of these kind of days out there, Mother Nature. Maybe the calendar throw us an additional leap day here or there if we get a bonus like this. Look outside. Blue skies showing up across Kentucky. And we've got the pleasant temperatures as well. Winds aren't too bad at all. We've got gusts that have been around 20 miles an hour, but we're rolling our way into March. 56 beautiful degrees. And it gets better before it gets worse. Rolling into tomorrow. Southwesterly winds, temperatures in the 50s, a little colder to the north, but we're going to focus on what's coming from the west. It's 70 into Memphis, mid and upper 60s across most of the Show Me State of Missouri. That is showing me tomorrow's going to be a warm day, and then the bottom absolutely falls out tomorrow evening. In a matter of a couple of hours, tomorrow evening, your temperature is going to drop anywhere in 2 hours, 20 to 30 degrees. That's how strong of a front we have blowing across the bluegrass. By the way, there's nothing out there this evening. Go about your business this evening and enjoy the nice weather. In like a lion for the month of March. Storms and highs tomorrow 60 to 65 degrees. Strong thunderstorms a possibility into the afternoon. Tomorrow evening, temperatures crash into the 30s like that. Could even be some snowflakes flying around. That'll take us into Tuesday night with temperatures in the 20s. So let's review. Mid-20s tomorrow night. Mid-60s tomorrow afternoon. What's 40 degrees among friends? How's the hour-by-hour forecast looking for the city of Lexington? We'll start you out on this Monday evening. 48 degrees, beautiful sky that is out there. Low 40s by 11 o'clock. We'll be into the upper 30s to around 40. Winds tomorrow morning will continue to gust up. Now quickly those thermometers jump into the 60s by noon when we have the first round of some showers and thunderstorms working across the area. Temperatures start to drop a little bit by 5 o'clock. Look at that wind gusting at 34 miles per hour. We could hit 40 miles per hour. By 10 o'clock tomorrow night, it's 33 degrees with a chance for some flurries flying around. When you wake up Wednesday morning, temperatures are down into the middle 20s, 26 by that time. For the day on Wednesday, we're going to struggle to get out of the 30s. It's generally upper 30s to low 40s, depending on where you are for a high temperature for the day on Wednesday. But at least by Wednesday afternoon, you're going to have some sun. Enjoy that one, because guess what comes in behind that for Thursday? A very ugly day, whether it's a little rain or snow or a little bit of both. It's only going to be around 40-ish, give or take a couple of degrees. Nasty weather will carry us into Friday morning. Saturday, one small little chance for a shower in northern parts of the area. We get to Sunday, it gets a little better. We get to Monday, it gets a lot better. Next week, let's focus on next week, guys. I see 70s coming multiple days, and the threat for some thunderstorms during that time, too.
70s? Multiple 70s?
70s.
Keep talking.
Several days in a row next week, a good likelihood. Short term, though, tomorrow, we're going to be mid-60s afternoon, Wednesday morning, mid-20s. 30 to 40 degrees like that.
All right, Chris, thank you.
You bet.
Beautiful artwork lining the hallways. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at the all-new 21C Museum Hotel today.
Leap into P-Rat's great 4-day sale and get no interest till next leap year. That's 4 years interest-free. Plus, get up to 50% off. And extra savings as good as 2 times your state sales tax. Ends Tuesday.
Nobody beats P-Rats.
She's gonna nuke the city.
Welcome to the Fortress of Solitude.
CBS Tonight.
We cover computers, cars, and psychology of criminals.
These geniuses will put the pedal to the metal.
I got a bad feeling about this.
If innocent people die, you're never gonna see daylight again.
Eric Roberts guest stars on a new Scorpion, CBS Tonight, or stream it live or on demand.
Important message for women and men ages 50 to 85. Please write down this toll-free number now. Right now, in areas like yours, people are receiving this free information kit for guaranteed acceptance life insurance with a rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. If you're on a fixed income or concerned about rising prices, learn about affordable whole life insurance with a lifetime rate lock that guarantees your rate can never increase for any reason. If you did not receive your information or if you misplaced it, call this number now and we'll rush it to you. Your acceptance is guaranteed with no health questions. Please stand by to learn more.
I'm Alex Trebek, and the announcement you just heard is for a popular and affordable life insurance plan with a rate lock guarantee. That means your rate is locked in for life and can never increase. Did you get your free information kit in the mail? If not, please call this toll-free number now. In the last month alone, thousands have called about this plan with the rate lock guarantee through the Colonial Penn program. And here's why. This plan is affordable, with coverage options for just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate is locked in and can never go up. And your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down because of your health. See how much coverage you can get for just $9.95 a month. Call now for your free information kit. Don't wait. Call today.
Call 1-800-909-4488 for your free information and free gift. There's no obligation. That's 1-800-909-4488. Or visit us online at colonialpenn.com. That number again is 1-800-909-4488. Call now.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Rewind 105.5.
We've just made the biggest laundry buyout in our 70-year history. Now get a buyout LG or Whirlpool washer and dryer and save up to 30%. 24 months, 0 interest. And we service what we sell. Another reason why
nobody beats P-Rats.
Today, an upscale hotel is opening in a century-old bank tower in Lexington, the 21C Museum Hotel.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about with the chief curator with more on all the exhibits. Hey, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here at the 21C Museum Hotel, and this place is magnificent. A lot of buzz about the opening, and the ribbon has been cut. Folks can come on out and see it for yourself. And what I love about this isn't just like a hotel. You come and see the beautiful artwork. Alice Grace Stites is with us. She's the chief curator for all of the 21C Museum hotels. What a fantastic job you have, my dear.
I do. It's very exciting. Yes, we are a museum hotel, so you're going to come in and see art right away. You probably saw the great piece in the foyer, this wonderful crystal structure growing on the ceiling, all those beautiful colors that come from the acrylic. It almost like a soap bubble has met a crystal. That's Spectre line by Soft Lab from New York City. So you walk in and you know you're in a very special place. We're in our lobby now, and we're looking at our first exhibition. The inaugural exhibition for 21C Lexington is Dress Up, Speak Up, Costume, and Confrontation.
Well, tell us about some of these pieces here.
Well, you can see that the artworks show us figures who are costumed in everything from the stylized period clothing of 18th century Europe up through the gender-bending bling of pop culture and some of the other works. This is by Inka Shonibare, MBE, member of the Order of the British Empire. He likes to use that honorific. This is the food fairy, who is carrying mangoes in his leather sack, dressed in this fabric that recalls Dutch batik wax fabrics that was designed in the West Indies. And you can see there are other characters in his works wearing the same things.
A lot of magnificent pieces for folks to see. And when you walk on in through the lobby, this artwork here has a UK connection.
It certainly does. Ebony G. Patterson has been professor of art at the University of Kentucky. She's been on sabbatical recently, making magnificent work in her studio in Kingston. And so here in our lobby gallery, we have numerous works by Ebony. 3-part tapestry behind the front desk called Gully Gods in Conversation. We have a single tapestry work over here and one behind you that's a photograph called Entourage. Very self-explanatory, these beautiful groups of people composed like almost like a court painting. But what she's doing is she's showing us a whole different group of people, a whole other side of life. These are, this is the dance hall culture of Kingston, Jamaica.
Well, you can't say that this isn't an educational experience when you come to 21C Museum.
Well, exactly. We like to combine pedagogy and pleasure here at 21C and give you something to look at, to think about, to take home, and hopefully to come back again and again, because we look forward to welcoming the community into what will be a new cultural center dedicated to the art of today.
Well, come see the beautiful artwork here at the 21C Museum Hotel. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
Not your typical hotel.
No, it's not.
Pretty fancy. Well, speaking of fancy, the 88th Academy Awards were last night, and it was pretty controversial from the start.
The big awards were handed out on a night where the lack of diversity among the nominees took center stage. Chris Martinez wraps up the night.
The film that shined a spotlight on victims of the Catholic priest sex abuse scandal won for Best Picture at the 88th Annual Academy Awards.
Pope Francis, it's time to protect the children and restore the faith.
Action film Mad Max Fury Road was the most honored film of the night, walking away with 6 production awards.
You can pop the corks at home. We're bringing home gold.
The Revenant won for Best Directing, and its star, Leonardo DiCaprio, won Best Actor for his role as the vengeful frontiersman. It was his 5th nomination, but his first win.
Let us not take this planet for granted. I do not take tonight for granted. Thank you so very much.
Oh, wow.
Brie Larson won Best Actress for her role as an abducted mother in Room. Chris Rock hosted the night, his opening monologue all about the all-white nominees.
Otherwise known as the White People's Choice Awards.
The comedian beat the diversity drum every chance he got, and the president of the Academy echoed his sentiment.
Our audiences are global and rich in diversity, and every facet of our industry should be as well.
Even here on the red carpet, where Oscar fashion is usually the biggest topic of discussion, diversity was front and center.
I'm here because to disappear and truly make it Oscar so white is stupid to me.
The night also included visits from R2-D2, BB-8, and Vice President Joe Biden, who joined Lady Gaga for a special presentation aimed at combating sexual violence. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Hollywood.
The Academy has recently taken several steps to diversify its membership, which is mostly made up of white men.
He's an old soul, but really he's just now hitting the legal drinking age. How his family and friends are celebrating after weather.
This new DQ chicken bruschetta is a high-end Italian sports car. No, actually, it's oven-hot focaccia bread, a balsamic glaze. It's a high-end Italian
romance.
No. It's chopped tomatoes and herbs. It's a high-end Italian
fashion.
It's a high-end Italian sandwich.
I like sandwich.
The new DQ Bakes Chicken Bruschetta, a premium Italian sandwich at a not-so-premium price. Hot out of the oven, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Philip Pratt, a proud grandfather,
a loving and caring family man, a hard-working small business owner, someone who knows how to grow jobs and change the landscape in Frankfurt. Philip Pratt will hold government accountable responsibly, fight Obama's crippling government overreach on our agriculture economy, and preserve our Kentucky heritage in Owen and Scott County. On Tuesday, March 8th, vote Philip Pratt for state representative.
I always wanted to be the lawyer who represented the little guy, the underdog, the powerless, the voiceless, and to have a chance to even the playing field. What we all want in life is two things. We want purpose and peace. The great thing about the work I've done is I've woke up every day with a purpose. And because of the work I've done, I think I've had peace.
Meet Madison Brennick, legend of energy efficiency. She's the climate controller, the light switch flipper, the air filter freshener. Madison knows the more energy efficient we all are today, the less energy we may need tomorrow. She also knows KU has multiple programs that can help reduce home energy use, making her home more comfortable and efficient. And thanks to Madison, her parents know it too. Become a legend of energy efficiency.
Make time this spring to escape to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the only thing you'll want to do is have fun in the sun. Let the sound of the ocean's tide take all your cares away and leave you refreshed to experience something new. It's your moment to let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
You know, as far as being outside this past weekend, it's hard to beat. I mean, it was so nice out there.
Even today, not bad, Chris Bailey, but some changes are coming that we really need to pay attention to for tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a bumpy one as we go into the first day of March. Showers, thunderstorms, big temperature drop. But you mentioned today, it's a bonus day in more ways than just the calendar. Bonus day with the weather coming off of that weekend, too. Look at our live sky cams. Mid to upper 50s across the entire area. 55 Lexington, Mountain Parkway into the Covington area. Frankfurt, we're up to 57 degrees. All 4 locations, blue skies. And that Covington cam, by the way, looking down the hill toward the Ohio River, the city of Cincinnati there in the distance. Remember that as a kid, making that turn and seeing Riverfront Stadium in the distance. Obviously, that's a distant memory now. So again, nothing going on outside of the gorgeous conditions across the entire area. Pushing 60 into the southeastern corner of the state with some very, very nice weather across the region. Let's see how that is impacting traffic. Hopefully no sun glares out there for the drivers. Here's Officer Don.
Well, so far we're okay on our drive times with no major issues to report. And it looks like 75 north and southbound looks good too, by the way. As far as sun glare goes, we're dealing with that on the outer loop of New Circle approaching Leestown and Versailles Road. As far as drive times, we're okay to Versailles with no problems past the county line at the moment. Also to Nicholasville, it's normal stuff we're dealing with. And then to Clark County on 64. Now back here in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. A young boy in a tight spot and a special birthday. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
A 4-year-old has been freed after his arm was stuck for hours in the first vending machine he'd ever seen. The nearly 6-hour ordeal began when he tried to reach into the machine in a Melbourne hotel lobby and became trapped by his anti-theft mechanism. Rescue crews distracted the child, Leo, by showing cartoons to him on their phones and giving him a stuffed toy as they worked to free him. But he had to be sedated at times. He was eventually freed and sent to the hospital to be checked out. Maybe the last time he tries to do that.
Yes, probably. This is a leap year day, or leap year rather, and today is February 29th, Leap Day. So it's a special day for 84-year-old Paul Niebels of Pennsylvania, who's really only celebrating his 21st birthday today. Niebels says he usually celebrates on February 28th or March 1st, but this year family and friends threw him a special surprise party.
My son and I were both had our 8th birthdays in the same year. Can you imagine that?
In case you were wondering, about 180,000 people in the U.S. are celebrating birthdays today. I always wondered, when do you celebrate? The day before or the day after?
Yeah,
I always go for the day before. So
every 4 years it's a problem, I guess. All right. Much more to come now at 5 o'clock. Stay with us for WKYT.